All right.
Welcome. Time for What's Up and About. Morning again, lady, gentlemen.
Yeah.
Kids are resuming for school, or some of them are.
Well, they've already resumed.
Have they?
Yeah. Well,
Not all
a
of
lot
them.
have.
Yeah,
A
okay.
lot have.
There was a video that we were seeing this morning, and it was from China. And apparently, the Chinese are way ahead of everybody. Only this time, I'm a bit concerned. Because this video was showing kids in school being monitored by AI regarding their awareness, how conscious they were, how aware they were to what they were being taught. And it'll actually report back this device, which they were wearing, will actually report back to the teachers who has a computer in front of her to monitor and see who's paying attention, who's not paying attention, who's doing more work, who's doing. It's monitoring their activities, using their facial expressions, and how much time they spend looking at their books and all of that. And that also sends signals to their parents at home.
Parents at home. So the question was.
I thought, you're trying for effectivity to make sure that kids are learning and everything while they're not, while you can't monitor all of them at the same time. However, I thought it was disturbing because that takes away the naturalness of kids to wonder mentally. I think that has there must be some adverse effects to them mentally. I don't know.
Okay. So from time, as a parent myself, one of the worries I had was that if I have my kids in a classroom and there are too many other kids, the teacher won't have time for them specifically. If they have a question, there are 10, 15 other kids that are trying to get this teacher's attention. What if your child just doesn't actually have that, confidence to actually keep asking?
Too many for you?
So, what?
What is
too many? Too many for me is more than 15 children in a class. Because I was in a secondary school where we were 90 in an arm.
Oh, jeez.
Each arm.
Exactly. So
You
you
know,
grew up
so-
that way. You had
Yes,
just
but-
one E to F.
Just one
Yes.
day
And
alone,
then
we have like
anyone-
47
exactly.
people.
But that's the thing. I know there were some things I didn't actually understand.
Because you don't think that you had enough attention
didn't.
from the teachers.
But with this device that they
Oh.
put on these kids' heads, like it's like a little, like some headphones kind of thing, you could actually see if this child actually understands what the teacher was saying. And the teacher could actually see it like, oh, red flag, red, as in it'll beep red or whatever, show red whenever this child is like lost in space. You have the opportunity to get that child back
But
on the same page with you as a teacher. So
I don't know,
like,
Mike. What did you
So
think, Mike?
Technology, though.
It's good. In a lot of ways, it is forward thinking. But I feel it's a bit invasive.
Exactly the word I couldn't find.
It's
Yeah.
a bit invasive in the sense that people will wonder. I mean, that's the
It's
joy
natural.
of humanity. That's
Exactly.
the, especially when they're kids.
Yeah.
You see,
Especially so.
But you see, there's something we need to put. Context is very important in this case.
Yeah.
Who are these kids? What
Aha.
school is this? Were they picked for a particular purpose? Are they
Okay.
being raised for a particular thing? Those are things we need to ask. Because you see, these people understand that. Someone said that if you judge a fish by how well it can climb, you would
You
be.
always
Yeah.
have bad
Not
results.
not every kid is scholastic. The best when it comes to understanding the best would I say are in the US, where you have colleges of sports,
Yeah.
whereby
Yeah.
the sports is the focus, but then they understand that academics are
Yeah.
important.
Yeah.
So I would say that context. Are these kids, have they been? Have they received them and know that these
So,
are
so with
special
technology
set
like this, you
of
can do
kids?
that. With technology like this, you can actually figure out who is more arts inclined, who is more science inclined.
Do you think you'd
who
have done any
knows
better
numbers.
if you were let to play more?
If I was allowed to do sports, maybe I would.
You think
I would
you'd
have-
have
yes,
played better?
I probably
Mike,
yes.
What do you think you would have done
Well,
better?
I know. I think my school was quite well. We didn't have too much options, so I don't know.
Yeah, we
I don't
can't
think that you
say-
lost
we
out
can't
anything.
say-
Yeah, I don't know.
There's a lot that we lost out on, but really
Because
don't
we know the options were not available to
Yes,
us.
music for one.
Yeah.
Is something that.
Oh,
I
but
think
I was
that-
okay. So I was available. I know I did quite, but then it was some sort of a pariah for the kids because of the music.
Yeah. That generation.
So, but I was in a primary school where music was there. There was sports, but it wasn't like. It wasn't like something that you focus on. It was extracurricular.
Exactly.
So it was not part of the curriculum.
Exactly.
Now that's
Yeah.
what colleges give you there. that the sport is the curriculum. So it's not, you don't term it as extra curricular. That means
It is
that it
part
is
of the
an
curriculum.
addendum. That's not the main.
I
Now
think
look
if I
at
was
the-
allowed to actually express myself more artistically,
Yeah.
I think I would have preferred that. I would have fared better if you ask me, quite
So,
frankly.
so there are some teachers from let's say a decade ago, maybe even 5 years ago, who will be like, "Oh, this child deserves double promotion." What parameters are you using to say this child shouldn't
Academics.
be in primary 2 and primary? Is it
Strictly
by the
academics.
scores in the
Yeah,
exam?
by the scores.
Are you sure that someone didn't help them with that homework at home?
So is this
Are
why
you
you're-
sure that they didn't cheat in the exam? Are you sure that they actually understood what you were saying as a teacher fully before you say, "Oh, not primary 2, go to primary 4"? Like, and then this child is probably missing out on so many other things that they could have learned. I'm just
I
thinking.
know, I understand.
Technology-wise.
It's valid. It's understandable.
Now check this out. Now, this is actually a video of the instance we're talking about. Now, look at what they're wearing.
Okay.
It's on their heads, and it sends back signals to their teachers and also their parents. First of all, that's cumbersome, wearing that all day. Please, I beg. Secondly, I can't imagine. There's something called helicopter parenting. This is taking it to a totally different level. I think those downtimes that kids have when their minds wander actually are very, very essential. It helps them to be able to put other things together. I mean, inventions have come off of just simply playing or
Yeah.
simply wandering in thoughts. You know, gravity, for instance, was one thing that was discovered because Newton decided to take a nap under a tree. You know, so
I hear you. I
you
hear
know,
you.
now there's also another application to this AI instance where they use it to actually monitor people's contribution to work.
Oh, contribution.
So when you clock into work,
Yeah.
AI identifies you, takes your facial expression and everything, notes how many coffee breaks you have, how many downtime you have,
Yeah.
how much downtime you have, how much time you are clicking away at the computer, and it actually sends this back to your
So
boss.
imagine people
Yeah.
that are clicking at the computer, maybe they have one something that they're clicking at. Oh, no. You know,
So it monitors the sites
that
you're
person,
on,
that
monitors
person.
everything. In that regard, maybe I'll allow it. But for kids, I think let kids be kids.
So I just want to give the benefit of the doubt that maybe these are prodigies, these are just special
Perhaps they
children.
are. It's
And
the- yeah.
when
True,
you do that,
true,
you see, somebody put it in a kind of slight. I remember the first place I saw someone was trying to slight African children and said how African children are raised. We had different places where we see you see African children are raised more. Should I say, through the religious part, you see a small kid and
Yeah.
you, oh, this kid is, man
Yeah.
of God.
Yeah.
But those people are being raised to solve world problems. So I'm just trying to say that, look,
Yeah.
when you find the place where the kid will, you know.
It's funny.
So this is
what we would say. But it's funny why you should say this because last week I don't know if you were here with us on this day as well. We're talking about the schools. I think I can't remember what school, what Nigerian school, university that was stopping students from expressing themselves
Themselves, yeah.
in a certain kind of way. So they had band tattoos, short crop jet dresses, this and that, and I thought that was a bit too much. I think that those expressions are actually quite wholesome for their upbuilding.
So if you have Ayasta
But then what
expression
if-
in yourself now.
See, let them
Okay, so-
let them be expressing themselves.
I want to backtrack just a little. Why? Because we need to acknowledge the fact that our kids here in Africa are going to be competing on the world stage with kids monitored and tailored like this.
That's it.
So what are we doing
May
now
I add something?
to help our kids acclimatize
No, hang on.
to the real world, the world that is out
Do
there
I
now?
want them to? These kids that are being monitored and raised like this are being raised devoid of emotion.
They do, no, come
I'm
on.
telling you. Now,
on.
there is a study that also tells that
it
Asian
does.
kids of a specific...
Void of emotion.
I'll tell you this. Do you know why
emotion-
Asians can't... Have you ever seen there's a thing about Asians are unable to use their brows, and this is because in their culture, you are not supposed to show emotion. So they've grown up not being able to express themselves, then there's no need to use my brows in that case, because your brows are mostly responsible for actually expressing your emotions. Whether you're surprised, they lift up. If you're angry, they squirrel together.
It's part of the Japanese or
So when you take
Asian
out these
culture.
emotions-
No,
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
stuff
Emotions?
is talking about,
Yeah.
about emotions. I mean,
Yeah.
when you look at the samurai way,
Yeah.
about
Yeah.
the whole
Stoic.
Yeah.
You know,
But that's why they're world leaders.
I don't want my kid to be without emotion. I want my kid to come home and say, "Daddy, I love you," and be
I
able
wish
to
we had
express
and then
that.
ask you
There's
for
a lot
pocket
that this
money.
guy.
Yeah, that's part of life.
These kids are probably earning money by the age 12. You know what?
Kids should be kids.
Let's
I beg.
move on. Let's hear your thoughts on this. Please give us your thoughts with the hashtag WakeUpNigeria on TVC. Let's know what you think. See you after this break.